Hey everybody, welcome back to the shop. Here's another pick, flea market finds episode with stuff that I picked at the outdoor flea market on October 17th, 2021. I actually only ended up buying from 3 vendors all of the stuff that I'm going to show here, which I think that's going to be a pretty quick episode, so I'm going to tack on also a 2-draw Kennedy riser with contents that I picked up from another guy at a different point, but it was the only thing I got from him, so we'll look and see if there's anything worthwhile in that. But the first buy of the day was this Jacobs ball bearing chuck. So this is a Jacobs Super Chuck, and this is a 14N. So not as in demand as the Albrick keyless chucks, but still a nice chuck. He actually had 3 or 4 even larger chucks in this, but they were much older, and I don't usually bother with those. I've got a couple of those for myself, but as far as for resale, I figured this might be worth a shot. I got this for $10. Next dealer I hit him right when he was just setting up, so he had quite a few items out there, machinist related, and I tried to put a pile together and get a deal on the pile, and in the end I think I got very little off of what it added up to. And his rationale was that I was the first guy to walk up and take a look at the stuff, so he kind of felt that he was going to get his full money on everything if he just held out. So he had a few pieces there that were clearly shop made by somebody. First is this grinding vise, a little bit of rust staining on it, but it's a precision grinding vise. Doesn't have any damage on it. Actually, there's one little grind mark right there now that I look at it. Overall, pretty good shape though. And it's about 2 3/4 inch jaws, and it's about 6 inches long. But he only had $15 on it. I think the same place he got that out of. He got this V-block. Again, he only had 15 on it. Clearly someone's attempt to make sort of like the Starrett style V-block that has the ability to stand up vertically or lay down. So again, decent little V-block, $15. Planer gauge. I believe these are all engraved with the same gentleman's name, so again, reason why I think that it's all home shop made stuff. Beefy, very wide, and the other unusual thing is he didn't bother drilling and tapping holes for extension posts, so a little bit more limited in its use. I kind of like the beveled edges he put on this part here, which makes it a little unusual. A little bit of rust staining. $15. And of all the homemade pieces, this is my favorite. This is a sign plate. Actually looks like it was well executed. This is all nicely ground. He had 25 on this. Even has a little stop here, keep pieces from sliding off, and it has all of these drilled and tapped holes, almost like a pallet fixture. Guy did some nice engine turning design here on the inside. I actually like this so much, I might keep this one. It's a nice little size. I have a larger one of these. He also had these 2 pairs of calipers. He only had $10 each on these calipers. They're both Mitutoyo. I'm sure if they was Starrett, he probably would have jacked the price up significantly. But as I often find is the case, I believe that many of these antique dealers undervalue Mitutoyo because of the fact that it's an import, it's Japanese, right? But these actually work perfectly fine. These were calibrated in '98, so they've been laying around for a while. already checked them. They work perfectly fine. And this one here in the case has the original little tool for clocking it, and it's also very clean, and obviously came out of the same shop. It's got the same calibration sticker on it. So $10 a piece. That was a good deal. I just want to see if that sticker residue or whatever it was on there would come off, and it did. Okay, good. And the last pieces in this lot, he hadn't actually put a price on. This pair of precision ground parallels. These are completely unmarked, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was the same gentleman who made these other pieces who made those. And this little hand vise, which I think is another one of these ones marked Japan. I stand corrected. This one is completely unmarked, although the last one of these I had was identical to this, the same baby blue color, I think, and it was clearly marked Japan on it. So anyways, these are really handy. And so, like I said, 100 for that. So everything he has marked here adds up to 90. And so it's like he sold me this pair of parallels and this for $10. Oh, I almost forgot about these two items I bought off the same dealer. I put these two items together and got them for, he wouldn't do better than $23. We kind of haggled there for a bit because he was really kind of attached to this, and I don't blame him. This is actually a nice little, this is a Stanley number 13.5. If this was in better condition, it would be quite valuable on eBay, for instance, to collectors. As it stands, it's still a pretty nice find for $23. And then I got this also, this Starrett 0 to 1 inch micrometer, which I've got so many 0 to 1s, I don't usually get too much money for them, but it's got carbide tips, it's got the 10ths vernier on it. I think I checked them. Yeah, the lock still works, the ratchet works. So that'd be a nice little cheap micrometer for somebody. My mistake. That is not a carbide tipped micrometer. It's just a straight 231, but it is a 10ths. So, So this is a Kennedy 2-draw riser that I picked up off a guy I know. He's a flea market guy, and he knows that I buy machinist tools. So he had mentioned to me that he had come into this thing, and I don't remember if he ended up having a top box he sold or what, but I ended up, I can't remember if I gave him 40 or $50 for this. I know I didn't want to give much more than that, only because that's about what I tend to sell them for, but there are a few things inside I might be able to use, so I kind of figured, well, there's a little bit of value in there. We'll run right through these drawers real quick. It's actually a pretty clean one. There were 3 keys in here, and none of them fit this lock, so and they looked like toolbox keys, so unfortunately they were probably keys for the top box that used to live on top of this thing. But it's not really badly dinged up. It's not it doesn't have a lot of rust on it. I have a 7-draw that'll sit on here really nice, so I could put the two of them together and try and sell it. Although I've had the 7-draw for sale previously and been able to get I think I only wanted like $50 or $60 for it, and it was a pretty clean one. I had a really ratty looking one that I had got a while back. I actually just gave that to one of my son's friends. He's a Voc-Tech student in machine shop, so I just gave him the box. Figured if he wants to take the time to clean it up, he can get a start on buying tools. So let's take a look at what's in here. Let's start at the top. Alright, so we got a small home brewed or home shop type style wheel dresser. So these are industrial diamonds in here, and the idea is you just slap this down on your mag chuck on your surface grinder, and you can dress the wheel either like that or like that. This is a box full of a whole bunch of different little wedges. I do not see angles
and marked on these anywhere, so I don't think these were necessarily precision angles. I think somebody just, I don't know what they were doing. Quite a few pieces of scrap brass here, little pieces like this that might come in handy for projects. Rod, brass rod. Oh, this is just a desiccate bag, so this is designed to try and absorb moisture. Stone, scrap. That looks hardened. As does that. And just some trash. Bottom drawer. Oh yeah, okay, so as far as like, yeah, some value. Okay, so this is actually a pretty nice surface gauge. It's the big fella. It's a Starrett. I can almost guarantee you that's a Starrett. It looks like, well, you know, I spoke too soon. If it is a Starrett, somebody changed out the rod. That's just a regular straight piece of like drill rod or something somebody stuck in there. Well, that's problematic. Usually, a lot of these bases aren't marked. So the way that you could tell is that if the original rod's in there, the rod will be marked Starrett. So this is interesting to me. It sure looks like a big Starrett. It's also missing the 4 pins, which may or may not be that big of a deal. It's nice and clean though. This is actually kind of nice. This is a nice clamp from a larger mag base or indicator stand. A while back I got at the Brimfield flea market, I think I got this for like next to nothing. See the same kind of similar clamp. So these are probably Brown and Sharp or something like that. So I keep those kind of just set off to the side, and in the hopes that eventually I'll be able to put together a set. Those probably belong to something similar to like maybe a big doghouse style. That's a big Brown and Sharp mag base. See the clamp, how it looks similar? Oh yeah, spotted this little red jack. I knew I was going to get at least $5 for that, so no problem there. Precision ground parallel. Oh good, a pair. Nicely done. Tried out Sharpie. Trash. Piece of scrap brass. Well, that should be an edge finder. Just stuck from. It's weird. It's a Brown and Sharp 792 edge finder. I can see there's the line right there. That's actually the original plastic tube for it. Yeah, look at that. Just give it a very gentle wrap and it loosened up. Feels gummy, like there's some kind of anti-corrosive stuff on there that needs to be cleaned out maybe. Alright. Oh, there's another indicator. Snug. Ooh, how about this one? Oh, that one still writes. Okay. Always use those. Some really thin pieces of aluminum and steel and homemade planer gauge. All right. That one works. As did that one. All right, great. Couple of Sharpies. Oh, big money. All right. Well, like I said, guys, I just tacked this on at the end, and I'm going to call this one a wrap. Hope you guys enjoy these videos. If you do, please hit the like button. And if you're not already a subscriber, please consider subscribing. Take care.